How many gold chains is that?
But even to make it even more insane, it's like you're secured $400,000, which is an absurd amount of money, but you're playing for the double potentially in the finals.
Yeah.
Like that's how crazy it is.
Like you were sweating then, and then you got to play for double that.
So a lot on the line for both sides, and we were talking to Stefan from Starladder, and he did a feature video that's been going on the stream over the course of the tournament about Space Soldiers, and he was talking about how they, obviously they practice versus the best teams in Europe on a regular basis, but they've never actually played. They have a long-standing history playing together back in France.
Oh, yeah. As mentioned, Majors from Paris.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got a Turkish passport, but he's been playing in the French scene for just about 12 years or so. And him and Sixer has been a bit of a tag team for the longest time.
Oh, so he's going to know if they're running baguette or fromage. It's going to be right in their heads.
It's going to be in their heads.
Exactly. MBK taking a couple of duels here. Not such a bad idea with the US or their PTK, USP. Just you have better accuracy, but Major, after a certain amount of bouts, is able to be the victor. There's some risk run in being able to peek that, but as long as the Glocks aren't close to you and you have good aim, it is a better duel for you to take as long as you're only peeking into one person. But either way, it's going to hurt Envy quite a bit, and there's actually somebody else to take his place.
Yeah, Kenny just moving in towards middle, but this is pretty cool from Space Soldiers. Even though they're up with an advantage, they're just waiting to see how the situation plays out, waiting if there's any sort of response from Envy. And I'm curious if this is, well, they've gotten further up in mid, so this is looking like a bit of an A split here. You can see Desp with 2 flashes and a smoke, probably going to smoke off towards Highway, and flash Paz through from door here.
Yeah, so we've got like the classic, well, not like a 4-1 split, just one at Highway, and smoke comes out, and Envy can know what's going to go on here, but they still have to, frag. Ooh, what a shot to pop him out of the sky. Paz, see you in the next round, buddy. Major also gets killed by Kenny S, a duel that was waiting to happen. Apex going to be throwing one of his retake smokes, and Envy are definitely prepared for the situation. Didn't play anyone on site for this reason. Space Soldiers going to be fully aware of this, and only have 3 up, so they can't just sit in default spots. They have to actually get a kill, or it's just going to be too hard to close off these angles. Sixer starts off with an initial headshot, gets another one, and will he find the 3-piece? No. Kenny, our man to shut down the flank, is also the one to end the round.
Very solid from Envy right there. Normally when you get into a situation like that, we talk about how, out of the 2 bomb sites here on this map, A is probably the easier to retake, but it's still not an easy task because you have limited utility on pistol rounds. You're already down in man as well. So it was looking pretty rough for Envy for a moment there, but Apex finding that first frag onto Paz before Space Soldiers even get the bomb plant down. Definitely big for them.
Yeah, sometimes that's all that matters is like if you're playing the retake, if you get the initial kill, and it's also a trade, so making 4v4, then T's don't have much of an advantage. A lot of pressure, I think, there on Major to make something happen when they got traded out. Yeah, to continue have that man advantage. Because to say the retake and like 4v4 actually favors the CTs if they are given enough space.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially because, and you get into that awkward situation, like you mentioned, for T, where you kind of have to be the active guy to try to find a pick eventually as well to fend off the CTs, because, again, you don't have utility either. So it becomes a bit of a weird back and forth. But Envy handled that well, and so get off to a good start. And this is their map pick. Oh, Major's still doing a lot of damage here in mid.
Apex wanted a little bit of that, but not too much. For good reason, down to 3 HP. Honestly, if you could find Kenny, just like throw him this gun, dude. Like I can't use this properly right now. And on bomb wall, he's in kind of in a difficult spot, but manages to escape. No nades to finish him off, even though they probably spotted his name tag.
Somehow he took 1 damage from that, because he was at 3 HP after getting dinked by Major.
Yeah, he did. That's crazy.
How does a Deagle do 1 damage?
That's definitely a CSGO in a nutshell. Happy as a couple of players are crossing. He's not going to find any action quite yet. Xantaris is to be his first victim. Another one in Engine, and a very clean anti-eco round. Apex, because the world is fair and just, ends up dying.
Yeah.
But that's the only 1 kill they had.
Yeah.
I don't think they recovered his M4, though, so that's just a little bit of money that they had to rebuy.
Not the end of the world if they're able to stay alive with 4. The problem is, though, Space Soldiers getting that bomb plant in the first round, obviously going to opt to buy in the third. Limited utility, but we saw even Dark Passage, they decided to do this as well yesterday, and they were very successful with it. So we do know there's a lot of firepower on this side.
Yeah, firebomb in hand on site. Major gets that opening kill. He's been so good at being the aggressor in the early rounds. Actually dies in the middle of the site, and that's going to alert the CTs. Happy pulls the pin on his grenade. and the delays come out. Great counter flashes have resulted in the T's staying in A main. They've now pushed out to forklift, couple one across the site. NBK spraying through the smoke, a battle that can be a 50-50 situation, but Quad has been compromised. Death comes out, gets the better of him. Centaurus also gets a kill, and that leaves Sixer with not enough HP to even think about attempting this.
Yeah. And Space Shoulders, I mean, I guess their fake kind of works, but it doesn't. Major picking up that first frag on Kenny obviously forces Sixers to stay around, and he does take a lot of damage, but you can see immediately after Sixer picks up the frag on Major, he leaves off B bomb site, and there's pretty much a 4-man defense from EnVy towards that A site before Space Soldiers have even gotten out. They get down good smokes as well. It's just that, yeah, nobody's really there to cover off Quad for long enough. I think EnVy here probably should have saved some of the bullets from his M4 instead of spamming through the smoke to get into a better or different position.
Yeah, kind of an oversight. They had the smoke allowed players to cross to Quad, but they didn't account for players actually getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
When NBK could have pushed up there and waited. Who knows if you would have won in the duel, but at least you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, it might have netted him 1 kill and then he gets traded, and it still ends up being around for Space Soldiers. That's definitely possible, but
at least you get the information and you did the right thing. You got to do the right thing. You got to be a good person.
Exactly.
Do the right thing.
Well, solid from Space Soldiers, not getting into that economic hellhole. And instead, it's going to be EnVy forcing up. You can see a glass cannon off coming out on Kenny.
Definitely
not too much utility either on either side. Actually, very few smokes. Only 2.
Nothing nothing aggressive being done. Here's Sixer in A main, getting real frisky. Kenny S also was to support, but he didn't actually take a shot. And this puts a little bit more attention on Sixer. He might ask for maybe a flash behind him so he could take a peek, escape, or something like that. But if he just gets pushed, you know, that's not going to be a good trade to go 1-for-1.
No, he is in a favorable angle, though, so if Desp is to move forward into A-Halls here, he's going to have a hard time actually getting that shot.
Oh, and he goes for the duel right away. Desp thought he would be able to escape, and this smoke's going to allow Sixer to be the one to leave. And Terra's going to flash himself into the smoke, maybe just assuming either he just needs to trade this or simply that he has A main to himself. Either way, he is alive and well and pushing out. Kenny S anticipated him to respect that smoke, but Zentara said no.
I do like the mid-round decision, though, from EnVy to boost up Sixer, and you can already see it paying dividends here. Engine goes down, but that does give away his position to Centaurus.
Ooh, Centaurus finds a headshot. I think Sixer crushed right into it. The entries on A-Site come out, and Apex is covered. Paz has his back. No problem.
Gotta look out for your teammates.
That was a really good good round from Centaurus. I mean, I was surprised he actually had the cojones to flash himself through that.
Yeah, I think
smoke.
Kenny was surprised by that as well.
He's like, I got at least 10 more seconds, you know. I can mess around, look down highway from here. No one's going to push up at this point. Sixer's smoke just bloomed.
Yeah.
So, good call out.
Yeah, definitely. It puts good Space Soldiers in a really good position as well.
Some people would call that stupid, but I don't think Zentaris would have gone if he thought that there were people in A main.
I would call it random.
Random.
Not necessarily stupid, but definitely random. It's not something you see every day.
Right. I think it's just like a hard read, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't pay off, but if you're, you know,
sometimes you just make a judgment call.
Definitely. Play your opponent.
This is also something I'm liking from EnVy here. They know they're down on weaponry, so they might as well stack sites. They don't find anything towards A early on. And to be fair, Space Soldiers have been playing fairly passively at the beginning rounds from the get-go, but still, them just figuring out that, okay, we didn't see any early aggression on A, we're just going to stack up over towards B and take our chances. I think this is a way better way of going about it than necessarily just like hoping that somebody gets extremely lucky and finds 2 kills or something on their own.
Yeah, Space Soldiers still don't know what they're doing, so this is just unfortunate right now that the bomb is going towards A and they're actually making their way out, but there's absolutely nothing bad to say about gamble stacking for whatever reason that they have. But yeah, Space Soldiers playing the A, he goes very fundamentally good, where they just end up going A, they use their Molotovs well, they keep a lot of distance, and they wait the clock down enough to call out EnVy if they're going to try to push.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating when you're on an eco and you try to push, and then the team you're facing in a very passive anti-eco. They'll run right into you, you know. So, you know, even though it's annoying and maybe it's kind of boring, it'll win you rounds. So, you know, so.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, isn't it?
W.
I mean, to be fair, at least in my opinion, like winning is way more fun. Like if you end up with a W, it doesn't matter how boring you play because winning is fun.
Yeah, winning is fun. Exactly.
Happy
enemy spotted.
Just gonna get a couple of tags onto Major, not enough to do life-threatening damage for now.
Yeah, I like how far backspace was. They're not just like running through all the choke points. They're kind of fanning out this side of the map, but they're 1v1s. They have a lot of distance. Okay, a lot of bullets being fired. Engine gets a kill. $300. It's not really much that MBK lost, but it's much better for Engine that he didn't die.
Yeah. Actually surprised that he decided to stick around after the second NV player shows up as well. If that was me, I was just like, nope, not doing that. Holding on to my AK.
I probably wouldn't have been an unwise decision, I think.
It's going to be Byron. No op on Kenny. A bit more utility this time around for the French side, though.
Good flashes. Gets someone going over a white box, and the other player at mid goes down. This makes his job much harder. MBK, however, is up to the challenge. Half HP, but he gets the kill. He's able to fall back. Important trade has been taken, but so has mid control. Nobody's here to defend, and that, this makes the CTs rotates just a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and a little bit less information-based and more read-based. If you have vision on mid, you can just be like, this is the split that's happening. But if you don't have information on mid, you've got to hope that Space Soldiers make noise. And a good team's not always going to give you that.
Yeah, so far, Space Soldiers have been very, very methodical about how they've approached this.
There are cool spots, for example, like Happy cannot play up against the wall by bomb wall. They have to be somewhere on site. Oh, Sixer pushing out mid late. Very good call out. Major gets killed on that flank. Once again, and MBK and himself Happy have moved in to just frag out. No one from Space Soldiers is able to make any more progress. The bomb hasn't necessarily been spotted. Des makes a very important shot, you could say, unless it's actually traded out by Engine. And it looks like there has been a misread here as EnVyUs has tried to move out of A. Engine still in a tough spot, however. And his teammate close enough to keep it that 2v1.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were starting to move out of A, though. I think they kind of thought they might have gotten faked out. Or
I think it almost seemed like they didn't realize how good of a job they did with their limited utility to actually hold Space Soldiers off. Because the actual A push from Space Soldiers took a really long time. They actually never got out onto site. You had one guy come in out the door. I think that was Paz, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like they were expecting Major to get more done from the mid. Him getting picked off from 6 so just delays everything they want to do.
Yeah, it does seem like even on the round they won on the A execute, their spacing wasn't that great, but they still managed to win.
Yeah.
But they're coming out really slowly, eating all the counter nades, and just relying on entries, which they kind of have that firepower and a couple of players to do that, and it's clear that it's worked a little bit, but no surprise that they ended up losing a round that they played out very similarly. Desp is now just holding over boost. This is something that you can do for a very long time. And if someone's playing mid, oh, Paz gets an important kill onto Happy. The duel you don't want to lose is the person on the site, and actually gets a little bit more aggressive as someone comes to trade. MBK on highway gets killed. Apex going to be the lone man here. Has to be the hero. Will he find another headshot? Of course he will. It's Apex. Player quadded a quad. He's still alive. Options aplenty, but Desp has actually gotten a second.
Kenny does find him though in the turn, so that is bombed down on site, but there's room here for Paz to actually find a frag, or find a bomb plant, I mean. Smoke off is going to cover him pretty decently. Sixer's not pushing up on highway either, but it looks like Paz wants to find the first frag before he actually commits to a bomb plant here. And I think oftentimes in 1v2 situations, that is what you want to do.
Yeah, no, and then the decision here is that he's playing to win as opposed to playing for the plant.
Yeah. Walking into an angle versus Kenny, though.
Not the wisest.
Yeah, not the easiest thing to get out alive with.
Yeah, sometimes the crouch peeking work. Like some people are so fast they'll shoot too early.
Yeah,
like if you crouch.
Yeah, because you expect people to actually just walk out at a normal pace.
But Kenny just maybe too fast or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tightest. Hold that angle really tight.
So
crosshair placement's a weird thing, right? You have to judge if someone's going to go wide on you or if someone's going to go really tight.
And even without the bomb plant, Space Soldiers do get a reasonable buy-in. 4 AKs, 1 UMP, but a lot of utility. And again, they're setting up for that A bomb site. Kind of reminiscent of old FaZe, who only knew where the A bomb site was.
Ooh, right in the middle of 2 heads. Engine is the better of Happy. That UMP kill is going to be extremely good for them to start this execute. I think they were willing to do it 5v5, and now can really just have free reign. Oh, Apex, they've made no... I don't know how he got dinked there, but that just gave up his position.
Santaris just shot a random bullet through door, I think.
Oh, that ended up working out really well. MBK flashing off of MBK. Will peek out for a frag. And he's in kind of a tough spot, but he ends up getting a headshot. Very nicely done. 2 people up, and wow. Just a quick flick over to Major. He's been dying almost every single round. wow, Engine decides to shoot a few bullets through the smoke, exactly where MBK decides to walk up to. Our man 6, the rotator in. As there's been a lot of action at A. Has to come in with the M4. It's getting pretty much bullied and harassed by this these two players off the side of the box. Yeah, that dink through Squeaky. He just like shot.
It's like he expected someone to be towards forklift or something like that.
Yeah.
So he just shot a couple of bullets, maybe like a pre-known angle that he's worked out or something from door. But it's like, even though he doesn't do massive damage to Apex, it's the sound cue that it gives to everyone in A main that's so big.
That's exactly what it is. The dink is just like heard around the world.
Yeah, but even with the entry frag and opening frags they find towards that A site that round, they're still extremely slow of actually moving out of A main. And it almost cost them the round as well. I mean, if Engine doesn't find that UMP frag through the smoke,
2v2.
Yeah, it's a completely different scenario. We're seeing aggression coming out from EnVy now, though. It's eco time, so deciding to take a bit of a risk here. Oh, nice shot from Apex.
Holy smokes. Pop the moose right off his head.
Yeah. That's map control gone for Space Soldiers as well, and they've been fairly passive towards B just all through the game, really. Only having Engine towards that area of the map for the better part of it, while the rest of them move towards through door and have Desp sitting on boost. Paz or Santerra is moving Squeaky.
I want to say their anti-eco wasn't ideal this time, just because the way they watch B, if you watch it from spawn, you have like a way better angle, yeah. Whereas if people are going to walk out B, they're going to clear that angle he just walked into every single time. So he wasn't really watching it. He was just coming back to fight almost, is I guess the best way to characterize that
Kenny.
duel. And yeah, they are just assuming no one's actually walked all the way through. They'd be completely wrong about that. Kenny, going to fire a little early. I feel like just saw an opportunity, need to help his teammate out. And Apex, another 1 dig on this round. Will he find 2? 1 through the smoke. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. But there it is. Kenny going to be walking over B main. And oh my gosh, if those bullets weren't fired off, Kenny probably would have walked right by him. Paz looking for a very important frag. And the CZ, will it be enough? No, not enough bullets. MBK, half HP, along with his opponent Paz, and there's one more on site. Both have AKs and a Molotov for B main. Good headshot, though. 8 HP. Oh, and he's looking for the kill. He'll take a duel at any point right now. It's not going to be easy for him to win, but all you need is 1 bullet, that headshot. And he's assuming the peak's going to come out without any tap. Now the bomb's planted on site. 10-second defuse. Unlikely. But he does get it. There's, I think, enough time to defuse this bomb as well.
I think that's going to be just not enough time.
Oh, really? Oh, no. That is so... Jeez. Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Well, that
well
just means
played,
that Paz played it extremely well, yeah.
I mean, and MBK as well, actually managing to get away with that with 2 kills. I think it's a bit over-aggressive from Space Soldiers to actively hold the angles the way they did. I mean, Des probably shouldn't go down on bomb site there.
Never peak default, right?
Yeah, and especially when you have a Molotov down, so you know MBK can't actually push through that angle. So I'm not really sure what. Yeah, so not really sure why you want to take that duel, especially when you know they're on an eco. So likelihood of it being a kit in play on the CT side is very unlikely. So you
especially with someone watching your cross.
Yeah, so you know just play for time. But they do get away with the round in any case, and it is double eco for EnVyUs. So
around they probably should have won in the first place. Apex got like a couple of nice 1 digs.
Space Soldiers, so they do get the opportunity, even though they went down to 1 man in the previous round, they will have the chance to kind of stabilize their economy. It's a lot easier done on the T side than it is on the CT side.
Yeah, very fortunate for them. And do you have money?
Well, I mean, the money situation for EnVy is pretty high, but given that this is going to be a 3rd round loss bonus, if they end up losing, they will have enough money to get a decent buy. Question is whether or not we're going to see Kenny pick up an AWP or not.
Good opening kill. Pretty much, on these anti-ecos, look for that opening kill, follow up with a bunch more, and you can see they pulled the pin on the Space Soldiers bomb. They're starting to move pour into the site, clear all the angles.
Only Happy left, and he only has a P250 hiding out by car, hoping that someone from Space Soldiers is going to move aggressive. But Space Soldiers have, for the better part of this, been doing a pretty good job of, if they're moving out through to the extremities of the map, they do it together. And you can see they're just kind of hanging out on site, not really interested in engaging.
Good practice for when you just need to avoid someone after an after plan is just pick a choke point to exit. Everybody go the same way.
Yeah.
Very simple.
They don't really stand anything to gain by killing Happy either, and I think that's what they're realizing as well. They just want to make sure they don't get ninja'd, and as long as they can do that, they're happy. Not enough time left for Happy to teleport to the bomb site and magically make a defuse kit appear.
Yeah. So he's going to hang on to this red P250. Reflect on life for a moment as the round changes and we go into round 11. 6-4 for Space Soldiers, T-side cash, first map. And another buy up for Envy, another chance to pull this back. Kenny S doesn't have that armor once again. Glass cannon with the op. Not a huge deal.
He's been able to work with worse. And again, it's just the same recipe for Space Soldiers, and you can't really blame him. It's been working out pretty nicely for them so far. Just not really interested in that B bomb site. Ooh, Happy's actually going to get spotted up by quads. He's going to have to reposition. Not a huge deal, but obviously if you have an idea in your head, you kind of want to follow through on it, but that's not going to be the case for Happy this round.
Now they're using Major in the exact same way. This is something that could get telegraphed, especially if they spot him. That it's probably going to be in like another 4-1. Oh, interestingly enough, smoking themselves out of A main because they want to throw their nades through the smoke. I don't know if this is going to be some sort of tell. Typically, you prepare this kind of thing so that if A main is smoked, you could do it. But they're going to see the smoke comes out. Either way, they're coming out through it. It's not like anyone's going to have to be able to spray them down. Happy takes down the bomb engine, putting it through to the forklift. Might be a little bit of bad decision there. Apex getting killed and. After all the madness, it's just Faz left in a 1v2. He's got to recover the bomb. Really bad spot for it to be in. I don't think they actually know where it is. But that doesn't change the fact that it's going to be a big problem.
That's a very surprising smoke to put down, actually.
Whoa.
I'm not sure what Sixer wanted to do there.
Yeah, this is one of the situations where it's like you've got safety and you've got a 2v1 and your teammate can't trade. You probably don't want to get too aggressive, but watch Kenny S just hit this shot. Oh, he's been too patient. Oh, but he misses! Paz is too good with the shoulder peaks. I was surprised. I thought Kenny S had that.
Yeah, especially when he sees his shoulder first. He can just like line up. He knows the angle he's coming out from.
Critical 1v1. That's a two for one round. They just got off of a double eco.
No, sent right back into one.
Right back into one. Space Soldiers didn't have that much money left over, and now they're going to be able to stabilize their economy once again.
I'm like the big question mark for me is like, what the hell is Sixer doing in that situation? Especially because Kenny has spotted out the bomb, so he knows the bomb is on the outside of Forklift. The smoke from Paz is moving it, or is put down in a position where you can't actually retrieve the bomb without getting spotted as well, which was also weird to me.
Yeah, he didn't use that smoke to help him do anything, really.
Yeah, but instead it's EnVyUs kind of offering up a golden opportunity for Paz. Kudos to him for taking advantage of it, but I have no idea what Sixer wanted to accomplish with pushing higher there.
And obviously, Vendetta right now just prodding at the fundamentals of a 2v1. That's play together or play to trade. And they didn't do either of those things with Sixer just walking up catwalk. Put Kenny S in a really awkward spot. And the worst part is that, he's in the 1v1. Kenny could win it and look like a hero. But if he loses, he looks really stupid. But it's not his fault for being in the 1v1.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been put in that situation.
But no one's blaming Sixer. Only the analysts.
That's what we got to do. I mean, Envy, to be fair, like 4 rounds on their CT side so far, they can definitely, round this out. If they get to 6, it's probably not the worst case scenario in the world for them. They've never been they haven't been a really strong CT side on cash for quite some time. It's their T side where they really shine.
It's just at that point where they look at like, wow, we should have won this round. Wow, we should have won this round. But overall, just a positive half or like a relatively good half is all they were really looking for. Any day, really good. Ooh, nice, another dink with that CZ. 190 damage. Apex tries to come and be that hero with Eagle like he has been. And Major finally catching someone off guard with this kind of late flank play that he's been doing. Right now, they've got a huge health advantage on the 2 players from Space Soldiers. I don't know if it's fully understood, and Sixer goes down without getting a kill. Hard to get 20 damage in with a Deagle. I'll give him that. I mean, Deagle can do 100 damage, but 20 damage, you're asking for too much. That's a gun where, ooh, wow, nice wall bang. Deagle's a gun where you get the kill or you die. It's 20 damage.
It's like the worst weapon in the game actually to do like that tag damage.
I would rather have a P2K in a 1v1 than a Deagle.
Yeah, probably. Well, depending on health. I think like if far distances, etc., like you're trying to retake from long or something on Dust 2, that type of thing, I'd probably have a Deagle. But if
I'm
low
honestly
HP target,
being dramatic at that point.
Yeah.
A P250, a 5.7, 100%.
Literally anything that's remotely accurate.
Yeah.
So Deagle is a bit of a crapshoot in that kind of a scenario.
Okay, Kenny S is going to have his opportunity. Oh, he sees the opportunity for a pick, and Zentaris, I think, just sensed him. It's just like, all right, someone might be here. I don't know how he knew to help his teammate, who didn't even realize he was in danger, but just came to the rescue right away. Checker controls has been taken, and we have someone at mid to make sure no one goes there. Sixer gets a pretty important frag, but he commits pretty hard up in heaven. Engine kills them both. And that leaves one person in the site. 2v3 is the problem. The spam coming out from Zentaris, and our man on default is in danger. They're going to check this whether they know he's here or not. Zentaris full blind, however, great flash from MBK into the site, and the one for one though not enough. MBK's got to make a YOLO play in this situation. They know exactly where he's coming from. He doesn't have time to do a big rotate around, so it's either heaven or CT. No nades to fake him out. No nades. No smoke to block off any choke points. And he's made noise in heaven right here. So he's got to hope that Space Soldiers are overly aggressive, and they really just don't need to be.
Yeah, like he has to hope for a lapse in judgment from Despair in this kind of situation because he knows where Engine is, but making it over to that bomb site with an op holding an angle is just so tough. So as long as Desp just holds it, pretty much nothing MBK can do.
It comes down to great opening pick by Zentaris that Kenny S probably super frustrated about the fact that he saw an opportunity and someone just flies out right in front of him. But, he's standing in the molly, too. He was really gambling. Not really gambling. I was just playing pretty aggressively, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And that technically was a safe peek for Zentaris because of that Molotov they know they threw.
Yeah, I think he probably didn't expect anyone to hold that off. Pace being changed here.
Yeah, this is brutal. This is a buy-up from EnVyUs. No smokes have come out yet. Everybody is just dying. And now they can use all their utility. Just to put salt in the wounds, Kenny S. With not a very favorable gun whatsoever in a 1v5. He's taking duels, though. Gets a kill.
He's got to try to make some sort of bank going into the last round. Like I said, there's not really too much bank to speak of on the EnVyUs side. A nice shot. Does pick off Zentaris, but that does make his location known. And there's no way he's getting out of there.
Rushing A. Great idea. Like, they're low.
I mean, the round before as well, that's the first time Space Soldiers has actually committed to that B bomb site. And I think one of the reasons why Kenny held that angle is because for a couple of rounds, Space Soldiers have set up with the molly smoke through vents and also having Engine throw the mollies below vents, which is normally what NIP would do to clear out checkers to get checkers control, which is a pretty big sign that there's going to be B split of some sorts. And it has never occurred, so maybe Kenny's sitting there waiting like, oh, this is the same thing they've been running multiple times. I'm going to have an opportunity to just go 1v1 versus Engine.
Oh, no.
Major, man.
These guys, they have plays that can be telegraphed. Major's made like a certain amount of moves, and he's done them quite often.
Yeah, it's just like that towards B and
goes highway alert.
Mid, yeah,
exactly. Oh, the smoke is not so great. So I'm talking French. Oh, between Sixer and Major. Versus the Frenchies. Now 4v4 sites being taken. It's being taken slowly, as they normally do. Daspat's the better of Apex. Not even sure how that kill was able to come out. And MBK holding that spray down, doing quite a bit of damage. Also getting away with his life, leaving it in a 3v3. Happy is able to finally finish off Paz. Hurt and now dead. Engine in a 1v2. Does he get this kill? That's a big one. One person left. He gets that 1v2, and it has been a series of clutch. 1 health on this man. Wow.
Ice cold calculation. And I think, well, my French is not completely on point, but I'm pretty sure Sixer was talking about the first time you went to the left, now you went to the right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or he went to the right the first time. He went like out the right side of the smoke. Yeah.
So, yeah, and again, you talked about it like being telegraphed play in that sense, and that's probably Sixer being like, oh, I recognize this.
Yeah,
he's going to come out on the he's going to come out on the left side. It's like, nope.
Yeah, so I guess there's that micro adjustment that actually worked out really well for him.
Yeah, and even though Major's sitting at 9, 4, and 11, he's actually had some significant impact in terms of the first frags, the opening frags he gets in rounds. Yeah, pistol rounds. He's been getting up through mid, just being a constant nuisance for them. And even the 2 times he's went towards B fairly aggressively, he's always found 1 pick. And that's pretty big. So pretty cool to see. Space Soldiers with 11 rounds. And we talked about, EnVy not necessarily the best CT side team on cash, very good on T side, but I still think 11 rounds is a tad bit much to give up.
No, yeah. And Space Soldiers just played extremely well on a lot of those rounds. And they even have a couple of clutches to their names as well, which is a great stat line. Clutches do win games. As much as you can't rely on them when you practice, we need to, in this round we need to clutch. You don't practice for that, but in the real world,
in
the real world, if you lose clutches, you'll just lose entire maps sometimes. just because they can be worth 2. So much economic damage dealt in rounds that are 1vx in total. And here's EnVyUs moseying their way over to the B site where there's only one man on default. A rotate has come in at just in time major. That's good. His French senses are tingling.
Epic's just going to throw a smoke towards CT spawn, and off they go.
This is definitely a Desp Cam situation. He's got to try to find kills if possible. Major, oh my gosh, off of the footsteps, I think is able to kill one person through the smoke. Desp is now in a much better position to get more kills. KennyS, however, kills both people for his fallen comrades. Now, Engine and 2 players rotating from heaven, not the most ideal spots of all time. The bomb is being thrown over, so that does mean there's a little bit of the ability to delay a little bit for the CTs to get really ready to perform this retake. One person on site. Engine is not being killed yet. Apex is able to help out, however, and Zentaris finds the man on site. Now they know that site is clear as of right now. Also, the bomb has been planted in a pretty good spot, I'd say. Oh, but
doesn't matter when you've got Paz.
As even called out, it was like left side checker as opposed to right side B main.
Yeah. Zentaris even had to smoke in that situation, so they could have played it super safe by smoking off the angle that Happy has for the bomb. But I guess, you know, all it takes is one bullet.
This is another type of round that wins game, and that's pistols. Unfortunately, if you clear both pistols, you just have so much leeway to make errors on top of the clutch rounds they've won, resulting in the scoreline that we see. You know, even though Space Soldiers have also won really good rifle rounds, some of these ones are just make their route so much easier. Apex so good with his deagle. Sees a couple of players, but they aren't going to mess with him too much. It doesn't seem like.
Forward positioning from Engine, kind of on his own as well. It seems like if he goes down, it's all on Zentaris to get an early trade, but he's not really in a solid position to do so, especially if they move out from boost.
Oh yeah, if Engine dies, Aaron Harris can just like hightail it.
Yeah,
he can leave.
Major getting aggro on a pop flash here from his teammate. Finds one, but MEK is going to get the return frag before Paz answers with 2.
Oh, Happy out late mid, but he has to reload, and he's going to get punished for an Engine with that UMP, putting more money in the bank on top of getting a very important kill. 2v2 to 3v1 now. KennyS going to pretend to put the bomb down. I think he should actually not pretend to put the bomb down.
Yeah, he should just get the bomb down. That's the best case scenario in this kind of a...
Maybe assume that they weren't going to let him plant something like that. Oh my gosh, that could have been a cool spray transfer.
It's like when you see that, oftentimes when you see like magical moments happen, you see that first shot, you're just like, you know it's an indication of what's to come.
Yeah. Yeah, you just picture that universe that's very close to ours.
Yeah.
Where
to be fair, it is KennyS, right?
It is KennyS, yes. There are multiple universes, all basically bouncing off each other.
He's a god in so many of them. Oh, doesn't really help Envy though. 13 to 4. This is Envy's map pick.
This is Envy's map pick.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot that.
And keep in mind, normally when you see a score like this, you'd assume that Space Soldiers picked up both pistols, but that's not the case either. They lost their T pistol, and
they split pistols. I didn't even consider that. I was just thinking, wow, the 11 to 4 score line they had, and they just picked up that second pistol. But man, they have won a lot of really hard to win rounds. A couple of kills, however, coming out from Envy on this one. Good place to start. Comeback's never out of the question. Cash is not a map. It's like whatever side you're on. It's basically whatever side your team is good at.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all about where you're feeling it. And EnVyUs are definitely a team that most often comes alive on their T side as well. So Apex picking up 2 frags could be a sign of things to come.
Our boy here, Engine, is not in like a multi-frag position. Also doesn't have a rotator. Oh, he's in vent. Excuse me. I thought he was below the vent. So
they actually don't have anyone on the B bomb side. So Envy can get it. Like they might lose one guy going in towards checkers, but
Desp actually comes in for the quick nade, ends up dying. No one going to go through checkers, which is just very smart by Envy, because why would you?
Happy, obviously in mid, of course, not with the rest of the team.
See you at the bomb site a little bit later. And just like that, Space Soldiers, not enough money to put together the rifle buy. Have three pistols. Paz still deciding, has gone with the deagle.
Yeah.
Always a good choice.
It's going to be interesting to see if Space Soldiers have anything planned. The previous round, there was a bit of early aggression through A main that didn't pan out. Put them down 2 men. whether or not they're going to try for some aggression this time around or just hold back. It actually seems like they're going to try for a boost here in mid.
Curious about seeing how their defaults match up. With that's also a very important kill. I mean, sometimes you feel like you just picture yourself losing as soon as you lose the first duel. Yeah. So Engine gets boosted up here, and the cool part about this is like sometimes you just want to leave this guy here for as long as possible without him peeking, because if it's an AXQ, he can just pop on over, and his teammate can just leave like really early on. And if someone comes over the boost, sometimes I'm not sure if this is, it's weird. It feels like the fight is still 50-50. Someone runs over the top of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, he has a CZ, so pretty decent chance. That nade doesn't really do much damage to him.
CSGO grenade.
Yeah, indeed. It seemed like they had a feeling he might be there.
Oh,
Major has made noise. This is a huge tell for Sixer. Sixer actually kills him, which I guess is good, because they needed to even up. Oh, an Engine, I guess, is alerted. Yeah, as soon as his teammates start dying, I think he was like, all right, I gotta do something now. But
yeah, I think that's one of the issues they had. Like, there was no real big reason for Major to push aggressively, I think. Obviously, with them having a bit of a stack towards the A bomb site, they want to bolster their defense as much as possible. But because you have Engine on that boost, as soon as you hear any sort of indication from EnVy that they want to commit towards the A bomb site, you're still going to have a quick rotate. So it doesn't really matter that Major is coming around from that end as well. I would much rather see him pull off or come in from highway or something, so they can get more angles to work off of.
I think at the very least, Major should have just kept walking, because they weren't, as you mentioned, it wasn't an urgent situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
He seems like a very aggressive player.
Yeah, and they didn't have any like big tells either that EnVy had vacated the entire B side of the map.
If they look at their own anti-eco, they would see that they don't really move until they get a bunch of kills. So you got to maybe assume that the other team is playing as safely as possible as well. And yeah, you know, man advantage, giving away footsteps, showing that there's no one at B. Like, that just tells you that there's no one at B. Someone's running through it.
Yeah. But
yeah, so
I mean,
kind of
Space managed to pick up 2 AKs though.
Yeah, that's a big find. I mean, they have head armor as well. So no like good reason to buy behind this, but they can just use these guns. I mean, maybe just pick up a kit just in case, but
I feel like this is okay. So you have two options here if you're a Space Soldier. I don't think being defensive is one of them, but I like to see them either just have the Paz and Desp go as a tag team duo, trying to find opening kills. Yeah, and maybe find some other weapons for the rest of your teammates, or use the guys on pistols and no armor as a bit of a meat shield.
Definitely. Yes, that's 100% what they need to do. You know, sitting around and waiting is only going to put that AK to such like a certain amount of use. You can't really expect them to get.
Okay, so this is cool from Space Soldiers, pushing aggressively towards B early on in the round, not finding anything, so they just go full-on stack A.
Okay, so let's see how this works. It's actually, EnVy don't have enough mollies to molly out everything, so they are going to, for the most part, have to really just walk into a stack. And it just depends how the AKs end up, how long the AKs end up staying alive. Des goes down first, which is the first AK. Paz ends up getting a kill, and the P2K bullets are good. 3 players have died. Paz gets another one, and that has worked out so well, as you were mentioning. It's interesting from Space Soldiers, right?
Yeah. I was a bit worried that they wouldn't actually have any eyes on mid, because playing versus EnVyUs, you can assume that Happy is going to be lurking somewhere. And for the better part, when they've been playing Cash at this tournament, Happy has been in mid for the better part of the game. Luckily, they do keep their eyes on that as well. So Centaur's picking up that frag is absolutely massive. And Paz's position is not necessarily the strongest one, but it's just an odd angle to peek into, because you're constantly afraid of someone coming up from car. Yeah. So you kind of have to make the call if you're pushing out from T main or just taking a live peek, whether or not you're actually going to focus on E-box or if you're going to focus on car.
And then, as you mentioned, like the meat shield aspect, right? If you're the one person with the AK on the site, then all the attention is on you. But if there's like 3 other pawns out there that have pistols that can shoot once in a while and take the attention away from the people aiming from a main, then the guy with the AK has a much better chance of like winning duels over and over again.
Oh yeah. And all the little damage that the pistols might be able to do, like the chip damage, does add up.
Yeah, we saw P2K end up finishing off the guy on highway.
Exactly.
So no, there's always a lot of value in just staying alive, number one, and also like supporting your rifles, even with just people who don't have anything else but their starting pistols.
So yeah, basically the saved weapons from their eco round pays off in a really big way for Space Soldiers. 14 rounds to 6.
What better example of here's a good reason to save?
Yeah. And also go for the stacks when you're on your follow-up eco.
Damn, so much to learn just off of that 1.5 rounds, I guess. Apex for 66 damage.
Yeah, fine.
Able to get Paz. Good. That is good for them. They still have such a long way to go, and the fact that they lost an eco has me kind of faltering.
Worried, yeah.
Yeah, faltering. I'm slowly pulling off this EnVy jersey right now.
I can already assume what kind of pose Happy is in.
I look better in red anyway.
MBK is going to find Engine in mid. So what we talked about, what we saw in one of the first couple of rounds from Space Soldiers with Xantares kind of playing the big box area, Engine playing up close. He doesn't really have any sort of backup if things goes awry or if anyone from EnVyUs move out on boost.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's got to be nailing the coffin here. Huge amount of pressure on each CT to have to, and this is just a perfect example of why like CTs need to stay alive, because 2 in one site, that might be a different story, but you never get to have that. Oh, Des put in a desperately awkward situation, and a great Molotov, and then the op frag out from Kenny S, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But and Space Soldiers have 2 times the rounds that EnVy do on their map pick. This is kind of nuts.
Yeah, actually surprised to see the buy coming in from Space Soldiers to this kind of situation, because when you're up this much, you don't really worry about the economy of the other side. It doesn't really matter if it racks up or not. You only need 2 more rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sacrificing a lot of utility to get those 3 Colts in. Only Paz, really, who's able to really get fully decked out. Even the guys with UMPs doesn't have too much to work with. But they're going to try the boost once more.
I don't know is Engine going to be a little bit more aggressive in this situation. Kenny S going to go over top, and that's not an easy shot to hit. Engine reaps the rewards of that boost. Very good. MBK going to be flashed through. Really good flash. Ends up getting 1 kill. Apex helps him out with the second. Nice stuff from EnVy to deal with that opening kill going to the Space Soldiers. And another, wow, beast mode. Xantares gets absolutely blasted. Nice. Very good at trading, and I notice Xantares is just always good at picking up frags for his teammates. Is never scared to move in after somebody's died, and almost always comes out ahead. But a series of great flashes that round from EnVyUs.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they're quick to react to the fact that Kenny does get picked off by a boost, but they know that they can definitely... well, first off, it requires 1 guy to get him up there, so they know 2 people are playing close to mid. And then MBK just immediately makes the decision to push out with the flash. Just very well coordinated by EnVy, in addition to having Apex on top of the boost.
Who was it that Space Soldiers played yesterday?
It was iGame.
Oh, it was iGame. Okay,
yeah.
So we didn't get to see that one.
Also a 2-for-1 game. Or, yeah, 2-to-1.
2-to-1 game.
But if I recall correctly, Space Soldiers did not play Cash in that series. But they're definitely comfortable with it, as shown by the scoreboard.
Yeah, low-key a trump card. They clearly know how to play it well. They've done a lot of good stuff. Their anti-ecos have been solid. The rifle rounds have been good. Both sides, they've shown promise. And the CT side, they've even pulled off like a great eco round.
Yeah.
Great eco round to convert to round win.
It's pretty cool to see, actually, because when we were watching Dark Passage yesterday versus VP, they showed a lot of promise on their T side as well. Like, they clearly had a good idea of what they wanted to do on both maps.
Yeah.
I guess Nuke more than Cobble on their T side, but I know Space Soldiers, obviously being the #1 team in Turkey, they're more well-rounded. So you're seeing kind of what kind of rewards that reaps. Paz being aggressive here, and this is similar.
Wow, nice tight angle. Gets the better of Sixer. He's going to stay, actually. Oh, he had a teammate there. The op shot, though, from Kenny S. They posted up really nicely for him. Yeah, I mean, they tried to use Major there as a bait. Almost worked out, I want to say. White box ends up going down. That's NBK. AK recovered, and it seems like they're not really worried about who might be behind them at mid, but they've also got a stack up here. Wow, Desp is also getting another kill. Another round where they've saved 2 guns, Desp and Paz, and they're getting kills with those rifles, and they're up. Now, Kenny S and Apex have a ton of utility to win this round. They've also got an opt-in checker and a good bomb plant. The site they're going to have at least for 10 more seconds. Timer's going to tick down. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? That is like the round win right there. Des with that wall bang through the head into Kenny S, and Apex now in a position that gets cleared all the time. What a clean shot from Engine. And what a huge round from Desp.
And again, Space Soldiers trying the same thing they did the last time they saved 2 weapons, having Paz and Major play aggressively towards speed. This time they actually run into people.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely surprised by the fact that EnVy didn't actually decide to pounce on that. like you get 2 frags towards B. The odds of it being, I guess it might play into the head the fact that they ran into a full A stack the last time, but that was off of aggression on B early on from Space Soldiers, and that might be play into their decision making. But I would have expected EnVy to just fully on pounce when they get at least one of the weapons as well.
I wonder
out of the hands from Space Soldiers.
Would you say that they should have won the round anyway, even though they didn't go B like at that moment? Because they got those initial kills. They went 2 for 1.
Yeah, no, they probably should win from that point in any case, but they do get very spread out there. Like, they don't commit to B. I think MBK is locked out by Big Box in mid as well. So
yeah, he's like in this like lurk spot, very far away from his teammates. Something that's not very common on a rifle round, but in a situation where, you know, if you group, you definitely win. Is he a bit far out, trying to catch someone off guard? Paz might be able to see KennyS here. KennyS really good at hitting these shots, by the way. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets that, if he catches the head off of him. Good spam from Happy. Good damage dealt. This A main spray going to be very important. 4v3 now for EnVyUs as they try to aggress onto A. Paz all alone has been so good in general. Shows presence and tries to deal with the spam. A couple of kills. A third one on him. Oh my god, no way. A 4th frag. He's on for the ace. Insane 3-piece from that first spray. And Sixter, I think, has made a bit of noise. It's not exactly clear for Paz. Might have just heard that reload. Definitely knows.
Paz think it's
I think we're in for a clip right now. Paz is on full alert for a squeaky. This could be it, the 5K. What a way to end the game as well. And there it is. Beautifully done, Paz. Damn. My mans.